Hello, good evening. Welcome to my Epiphensis and the European Fertility Society. We are back here once again with our another special guest with us is today right here. So we had a short break, Easter break, but we are back with more topics, with more details for you. I'm really happy to be here right now. And as you can see, Maria Khutorskaya is with us today. Thank you so much for joining. This is your first webinar with us. So thank you a lot for agreeing to join us today. We do have a special topic and session to discuss as well. How are you feeling, Maria? Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, hello everybody. Hi, Caroline. Thank you very much. I'm good. I'm ready.
Glad to hear that. So, before we start, let me just briefly introduce Maria. She's the fertility coach, but she's also ACT therapist, gynecologist, and nowadays she's also working as a fertility coach at Reprofit in Czech Republic, in Brno, sorry.
In Brno,
Right?
right? Exactly.
Exactly. It's in Brno. So, thank you so much for joining. And today, Maria will simply talk about online support group, and you will be able to find some tips what you can do during your IVF treatment. This is our focus. Maria has prepared a presentation for us on this today, and afterwards, as always, there will be time for your questions. So remember, you can type those in the chat. All is anonymous, so I can only encourage you to type all the questions, anything that's on your mind. This is a free space for you to simply share anything that's on your mind. So we are simply here to support you as well. Remember, it's being recorded, and I believe we can go ahead with our short presentation. So if there's anything at all you would like to ask, you can do it now during the presentation or later on, of course, as well. And we'll be happy to take care of any of your queries. And Maria will be is also here to support you today. So I think that we can go ahead with our presentation. Yeah, are we ready?
Okay, perfect. So
Perfect.
I can start, right?
Yes, of course. Let's
So
go.
hello everybody once more again. And today I will talk about our online support group. Um, the English one, Journey to Your Baby, that we are creating together with Reprofit Clinic. And so today basically we will talk about emotional part of IVF process, which is very important, and sometimes it's not valued that much. But I will show you some important data, and we can talk about it today. And I would love to show you that the emotional support during this journey, it's very, very important. So let's start. My name is Marie, as Caroline told you, and I will present myself and I will tell you a bit more about me during my presentation. But now, sorry. I would love to show you some data that I find in Europe Fertility Society guidelines. And I would love to talk today about what can experience the couple and the woman going through the IVF process and who's struggling with infertility. And here you can see what you can feel basically during this process. It can be sadness and frustration and worries and stress. And a sense guilt and shame, lack of support, and at some point also suicidal feeling. And the patient basically, according to these guidelines, they experiencing five all the time, so five of them all the time at the same time. So it's not that easy. And I wanted also showing you this. It's also, I took it from this guideline that research shown us that women who struggling with infertility experience the same level of depression as women with cancer, HIV, heart disease, and 42% of responders, they reported having felt suicidal at some point. So it's very, very um, undervaluating from my side. So we have, and today I want to talk how is important the emotional support for the patient. Um, and also the data that I can show you that I took from nice presentation last year in ESHRE in Amsterdam. And as you can see here, despite the favorable prognosis and the financial capacity, up to 30% of the couple decide to stop the treatment before achieving the pregnancy. I didn't finish the phrase, I see now, because of the emotional burnout. So it means that if this couple maybe receive the adequate support, the emotional support, so they can maybe continue and achieve the pregnancy. So this was like this shocked me, this data, and they say, and also the other that up to 70% of the couple experience clinically significant anxiety disorders and depressive symptoms at some point during the treatments, because as you know, as everybody know, sometimes the journey took more time, it's longer that it wished. And that's why I think sometimes at some point you really need to have a support. And basically using this data, um, we can see that the infertility, it's not just like classical medical diagnosis, because it's a very emotionally complex period, and it's basically affect all areas of the life. And you basically know it also that sometimes we cannot concentrate on at our work, or there is sometimes happens some problem with in relationship with partners, with friends, with relatives. Sometimes we also avoiding some social events because we feel like overwhelmed and stressed. And of course, from other part, you also of course, you can read that the stress influence the treatment process. So you from other side you try to relax, but it's very hard, and then you are more even more anxious. Yeah, so it's that's why it's very important during this time to have the support which is easy accessible, which is relevant and prompt as possible. So that's why basically we create this space for everyone who need it. And now I will talk more about our group. And we decide to open it at WhatsApp, because I mean everybody can have this application. And for us it was important that you can easily join the group, because you just need to send basically the request, I receive it. Sometimes we talk, or even without talking, I just add you in our group, and the group is free of charge. And I think it's very, very important, because everybody knows, and it's not a secret, if you are traveling abroad, or even if you stay at your country, um, the financial part of the process, it's sometimes it's really, really big, and you have no sometimes you should decide, should I pay for some add-on method, or my psychotherapeutical session. Of course, our support group, they cannot replace, like, in case you need, sometimes at some point somebody can need also medication, or really psychotherapeutical individual session, or yeah, but at least we can offer you that you can join us. And you it's also anonymities if you wish, so you can enter to WhatsApp from different telephone number. You can change the avatar, you can change your name, nickname, so you can put whatever, any photo, any pictures on that. Um, or you just openly talk from your name. Participation in the group to a comfortable level. So this is also important because the group now, it's very big, it's almost 200 people. They're in the English group because we have basically two groups. It's one in the local language, it's Czechoslovakian, and the other it's in the English support group. And the some of the participants, they are very active, and they talk, and they make it, they participate all conversation, and gives the feedbacks and sharing the tips and everything. But I also have a nice feedback from some participants. They are just there, and they're basically writing me after that they feel so nice, and for them important it's to be a part of this group, to do not feel alone, and to have the possibility to ask anytime they have may need it. So this is very important. It's no stress. You just enter in the group, you can just watch, you can come, and you can just leave the group without any explanation. So it's really as comfortable as is good for you. You can connect from different country. We have like from all over the world basically, and of course the big part of the participants, they are Reprofit clients, but it's not a must. So you can just join us and to have this support even if you are not Reprofit client, and the possibility to ask and share 24/7. So it's always the group, it's always open, and we are in a different um, hours. I mean, some for somebody it's in the morning, and you can talk with somebody always till basically there is always somebody in the group that can answer to you, can talk to you, and basically the people who can understand you because they're going through the same situation, the same process. So that's why it's very very nice. um, and let's present myself now. So my name is Maria, and I'm a gynecologist, act therapist, and a fertility coach. And basically, what I'm doing in this group, uh, it's my role is this group. It's to helping participant understand better whole IVF process, because it's a lot of methods, a lot of techniques, treatments, protocols, and sometimes during your online consultation with your doctor at clinic, or during your offline visits, you can easily forget to ask something, and or there is no time to get really explanation, and you start to looking for some information online, and it's a lot of controversial information, and you feel even more overwhelmed. So basically that's my role in the group, since I'm a gynecologist and I used to work in IVF clinic. I can give you this information, and I'm happy to explain you. And I always say there is not like don't worry if your questions are not good or whatsoever. It's okay to ask everything, or it can happen that you miss the medicine to apply this time, and you are worried, is it okay or not, or you start bleeding at the point. So you can always ask me and explain you if you should be worried, and you should contact your doctor to talk to him, or it's okay, it can happen. Or we can talk also, sometimes you experience some side effects or medication, and I can also explain you. And this understanding of this process uh, can give you this tranquility, and you can say, okay, it's under control. Because as you know, what is maybe the most anxious factor in all this process, and there is no guarantee, and there is no something that you can control. So you never know how your transfer will finish. You never know how pregnancy will developing. So basically, that's why at least at some point you can control it, and it give you um, tranquility, and it's your stress level can go a little bit down. Yeah, so this is relevant information and emotional support, of course. I try to help our participants if they are ready to share what they feel, what they're going through now, how to handle the stress, the anxiety. We have basically also, I put some information in the group how you can help yourself. It's a lot of different techniques and some book that I advise to read. So you can find all this information in our group, and I think it's very, very uh, important also, or to use them, or to share it, to do not stay alone, because it's very, very important. Motivation and decision making process. uh, our participants basically sometimes they should decide, and you know how it works. Should I try one more time when I have to move to the donor option, for example, or should I use this method or techniques? And I give you some adequate information based on some evidence data, and the ladies, the participants in the group, they share their own experience, and then you can have some idea, you can find the motivation, and you take this important decision. And also communication channel, it's more like for Reprofit patients, because of course I'm always in contact with our supervisor of the coordinator. So sometimes, of course, we have also hotline, and you can also always contact the doctor, but still, if you need the answer about the payment, the medication, and you need it tomorrow morning, let's say, so you can always contact the clinic and ask them to provide you as soon as it's possible. Yeah, so basically these important things that make different in our group. I'm really like when there is also some a supper group that driving by psychologist, and it's super nice if you can join it and if it's help you. But I think the complex to like to give you all support to make like it, let's say, complete. It's information, it's medical information, because a lot of clients asked me about different methods. Maria, what do you think about this method? It's always um, very strict line, because I always happy to share, to talk about methods, to give you my to give you research data, give you my own maybe thinking about it, but I never enter to the treatment process, because I can miss some information. It's very good that your doctor, you go together with your doctor, but maybe I can help you what to ask, how to talk with your doctor, what is important, and this make you feel better, and let's say in the safe part. And what also I would love to show you now, and I think it's my favorite part of this presentation, it's feedback from our from a participant of this group. So you can basically see how it works. I can read you some of them. When my treatment did not go as planned, I felt completely lost. Late at night, I was incredibly relevant to have someone like you to listen, provide reassurance, to guide me in the right direction to solve the problem. Thank you for the being there when I needed you the most. And it's also nice because sometimes, of course, we talk in the group, but I know that also some participants from the group can also write me in the private message. They message me when they really need it, and are also always ready to help, to talk, to explain. And then when they feel like safer and calmer, then they can proceed with next step, like to take an appointment with a doctor and so on and so on. And also nice feedback, the doctor from the group. Um, uh, Thank you that my mind and my psyche could rest. It's really nice. Whether it was an important question or a very silly one, the doctor always lifted me up, cheered me up, helped and got me in the right mindset. I'm very grateful to her because with her rational and medical approach, she helps many of us. So basically, this combination, what we creating in this group, I think work very good. Uh, because there is, like in this IVF field, there is something that's really approved and we use it and you talk about it with your doctor, of course, and it's okay. You sometimes you need more explanation that I'm happy to provide you, but there is also something like some myths or some um, techniques that can be really controversial and sometimes they can even make worse than help you. So that's also my role to explain you, to give you all uh, important point. And from physiological part, we talk sometimes. I have a lot of question. Maybe Maria, what are you thinking? What should I eat? What should I drink to make my ovary and produce like healthy oocyte and whatsoever? And I always start with explanation, the long one, about our physiology, about whole process, about the cells, about the oocytes. So then you understand really deeply, and then you make your decision, and you understand that maybe some supplements cannot really help you, and you take the decision to use some other methods maybe that in this situation can really help you. So basically that's it. It was short, and if somebody have any question, I'm happy to answer. And that's it. Caroline, are you here? Yeah,
Sure, of course. Thank you so much for your presentation and introducing the online support group that you are running, of course, at Reprofit. I think it's really important for everyone to have access to any sort of groups where they can, not only ask for help, but I think it's also important that you are able to see. We've discussed this briefly before we started, that you are able to actually, advise, yeah, as a professional as well. It's easier for you to navigate. Of course, as we already mentioned, there are many myths that are involved in this, so it's
exactly.
always good that there is someone out there who can, of course, inform you what is the actual evidence, which is also very important because there can be lots of biased information out there, and sometimes it's really hard to look through it as well. So thanks a lot for doing that as well, of course. And now we'll go for your questions. I don't see any yet, but of course, we have time. So if there's anything that you would like to ask, this is your time to do it. Before before that, of course, I would also like to ask you, because we do receive lots of questions during our session. We do receive lots of questions via email from you as well, of course. As you know, the European Fertility Society, Maya Defenses, we are creating all the webinars which are free for patients, and those are simply dedicated to you, as we want to educate on every aspect of IVF, but also fertility treatment and fertility itself as well. So I would like to ask you, because we do receive quite a lot of questions when it comes to roller coaster of emotions going when you are going through IVF, when you are going through this journey. Any advice? What do you usually tell your patients if someone is like, I'm having a roller coaster, I am sad, I don't know what to do, I want to continue, but I feel stressed, I feel worried, and of course it can be everything at once. What is
Yeah,
your what
yeah.
would you advise?
Thank you very much for this question, because I think it's very important, and I think, as my first slide showing you, like in presentation, all these emotion are like common things that experience, like maybe 99% of all couples going through this process. And the first things that I'm telling, because when they come to me and they are really stressed, or they are entering in the group and they just writing help, I need help, I'm so stressed, I don't know, anxious and so on. The first things what I telling for everybody, it's normal. We It's absolutely normal to feel it, because what's happened basically, when you feel all these emotions, you start to be, something wrong with me. Oh, that's maybe why I cannot get pregnant automatically. Yeah. And then you feel shame, and then you more even more stressed, and you like, it's like never ending story. So it's basically the first important thing to tell to yourself, it's absolutely okay, because it's a very sensitive period, it's very stressful period, and I'm a human being, and I can feel all sort of this emotion that we talked before. And then, of course, the second step, to ask yourself, how I can help to, what how I can take care of me. And we are all different. Of course, there is some techniques. I will not telling you now, it's long. We have also in our group all act therapy techniques that I love really this, because we talk a lot about values, about the meaning of a lot of these things. So I think it's important. But what how you can start, and to listen to yourself and telling you this moment. So now, it's sensitive period for me, and I have to take care about me, and maybe avoiding some meeting that make you afterwards crying or very sad. Sometimes you're visiting and you are not that happy with your communication with your doctor. It can happen, and you are sad, and you can always have, now it's openly, you can have opportunity for the second opinion, you can change it, and you can talk to your partner. And of course you can join like some supporting, like our group, because sometimes it happened just to be the part to do not stay alone. Because like what's in post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome, it's not that it's not happened, it's not that depending of the trigger, what was the trigger who bring you to that, but how you digest it after, how you, after the bad things that happen, how which supper did you have, who were near you, how you taking
Mhm.
care of you
Yeah.
and other people. So that's why it's very important to do not close you in yourself. Try to find the normal support. Uh, Avoid what it's make you not happy, because we understand that if people are nice and if they really love you, so also some relevance part of the family, if you are not able to join some celebrating, they will basically understand. Afterwards you can tell them, look, it was not the just time for me. So this
Mhm.
is really basic things we think about, that it's so easy to tell like now to
Mhm.
talk about. But but if you try to do that, maybe these steps can really help.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Indeed, it's a
You're
not an
welcome.
easy question to answer as well, of course. So thanks a lot for your advice. Okay, so it's very important message here that it's normal. First, accept that it's okay. Right. Thank you so
Acceptance,
much.
yes, you accept all your feeling, and then step by step you start to, there is also
Yeah.
different techniques, how to separating them
Yeah.
from them, how to manage it, and yeah, but the first step and important step, it's to
All right.
accept.
Thank you. Next question that I also receive quite a lot is about the guilt. How do I manage fertility guilt? It happens quite
Yes,
often as well,
and
right?
and and it's crazy because it's born because of the a lot of myth,
Mhm.
and it's not that much fault of this the patient to feel that, because they open internet, And they start to looking for the information which is normal, and they find out maybe they can, maybe they found the good information, but sometimes they meet like, oh, you cannot get pregnant because
Mhm.
you are you still you in your family somebody did something wrong, this crazy story, or you're so stressed that why it doesn't work, even if it's a male factor. It's like really things that and of course then you feel guilty, because then you start saying, oh, maybe I'm too stressed and that's why it doesn't work, or maybe I start later, or whatsoever. So
Mhm.
important to understand that it's infertility is the medical diagnosis, it's not the
Yeah.
psychological one. So you cannot treat the infertility in the psychological session. You
Mhm.
treat it in the IVF clinic because it's the medical diagnosis. And then, of course, to support you to go in for this process, you can also have some individual psychotherapeutical session, group, or whatsoever format. But important to understand, we are not guilty because we have gastritis or asthma. It's the same. It's not because you uh, uh, did something wrong.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's it's also important, and I talk about it all the time, we also in the group or privately, and important to get it, to understand it, and make like this. And the reproductive system, it's like every system in our body
Great.
sometimes just cannot work in the way we wish. So
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much indeed for that. Okay, we know that your group, someone asked, of course, this group that you're running is free, so anyone can
it's
join.
free, anyone can
Perfect.
join, and important that you do not need to be the Reprofit client, you can just
Mhm.
join. Yeah.
Perfect. Just to clarify this for everyone.
Yeah.
Any other sources? Are there any other sources of fertility support where people can look for such support apart from any support groups, of course, you've mentioned?
Of course, then you can work. I also basically proceed also the private session. I have some, not that much, because there is not, my time is a bit
Mhm.
limiting, because I'm working. We have basically two groups. It's also in the Czech language and the English one.
Okay.
But sometimes I have few clients that I work privately, like a session. We
Mm.
meet, we talk, we use some techniques. So basically, you can also looking for some psychotherapeutical support, and it's important. There is also I think openly you can find some questionnaire, and if you feel really bad, you cannot sleep, you feel some food disorders, sleep disorders, you are sad, you really cannot do like basic routine things. So please try to find the questionnaire. It's openly in like for depression, for anxiety disorders, and if you see the level is high, you can also even going to psychiatric and psychotherapeutical support. And sometimes you may need also the medication, and it's also okay because we are really worried about it, but there is also medication now that you can use during your preparation, during IVF, and also in the pregnancy. So do not be worried about that, and if
Mhm.
you need it, just help yourself, because at some point there is some biochemical process in our brain that unfortunately without medication, just with a
Mhm.
psychotherapeutical session, not possible to resolve. So that's why at
Right.
some point you may need yeah, this kind of
Okay.
support.
Thank you for reassurance of as well, of
Yeah,
course, here that yeah, if someone is needing that, then of course there are ways to do that to go ahead with
exactly,
it. Yeah. Okay.
exactly.
Thank you. Someone also asked here if you can repeat, I mean, because we've done it, we've talked about it, I mean, sorry. So how is it possible to join the English support group? If you
Yeah,
can
sure.
clarify that.
We have also in in this presentation
I
QR.
will show it to you
Yes,
in a
you
minute.
can just join here, or you can go to the Reprofit website, and you can just, I think you can also write in Google support group Reprofit, and you can find it,
It will be
and you
there.
can see the English one. So English version is for English support group. By the
Mhm.
way, both of the English and Czech group, I receive all requests, and I will understand that you're looking for the English one, and then I will add you there. And it's just the WhatsApp group. So basically, we talk about this presentation, why we decide to not do it in our application or something. We wanted to do
Mhm.
it as easiest for you, as accessible as possible. So WhatsApp, I mean, everybody have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And anyone
and
can join.
you're welcome, and it's free of charge. It's open. So if you send me the request today, I'm not sure, but tomorrow morning I will add you to our group.
Okay. Sounds great. And yeah, because someone also asked, is the support group on one-on-one? So this is like a group support, right? But of course, I know that you are doing some on one-on-one sessions if needed.
Of
Yeah.
course. There is some participant of the group, then they contact me in private, privately, and we have the first session. And if they understand that it can help them, and if I have time, so if it's match for both of us, so we can also work separately, privately. And the group is big, it's really big. We are almost 200 participants there, but it's work really nice. Sometimes some discussion are really big and you need just to scroll it, but
Yes.
sometimes it's also calmer. And yeah, and the important, when you are in the group, you don't need to participate immediately actively. You can just watch and read, and at some point, if you feel comfortable, then yeah, write
At
and
your
ask.
own pace, yeah. So if you feel
Exactly.
like asking something or go ahead, but if not, it's not,
It's
of course,
absolutely
necessary.
okay. As I told you, some of participants, they writing me in private. Then we are okay. We like it. I'm here. They're writing me. I'm just not really comfortable to share, but I'm happy to read and to feel me not alone. So I think it's also good.
Definitely. That's what we always want as well, of course. Thank you so much indeed for that. Okay, one more question from me as well. So can it's also quite often that we hear any evidence on stress and how it impacts fertility.
Hi, what's
Can you hear
happening?
me? Can you hear me okay? I think that Maria has lost connection, but let's give it a second. I hope that, yeah,
Sorry, now it's good. It works.
yes,
I
it
don't know.
was breaking, but I think we have you back. I think you're back, so it's okay.
Amazing, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I hear, and it's a good question, because there is no like direct evidence this
Mhm.
stress uh, cause the infertility problem. Because, and I told you, as I mentioned before, it shouldn't be treated in the psychological room. You have to go for the and watching for the gynecologist, to the IVF clinic, and to find out the reason. Sometimes even without find the reason, like idiopathic infertility, we also know how to manage it, because easily we cannot just still knowing the what caused the infertility, but the reason can exist. It can be the physical reason, not psychological. But of course, then we understand that stress it's more like about the behavior.
Mhm.
As I show you in this also presentation, I was really this date in the last year in the Ashra, like in Amsterdam, they presented like up to 30% of the couple, because the emotional burnout, they stop early the whole process with good prognosis,
Mhm.
is
Yeah,
and with a financial capacity. So it means that stress can bring you to really have some like a depression and stress disorders, anxiety disorders, and you have no more power to continue. You say, stop, I
and
cannot anymore. So it's really sad, and
because
that's
those
from
are
my
the
side.
patients that have
ex-
real chances, but of course sometimes it doesn't
exactly.
take
It
one
doesn't
treatment,
it
right?
doesn't work
Sometimes
at
takes
the
more.
first round. Maybe you need the second, the third, sometimes
Yeah.
you know, and it's not easy, uh, and you need to be supported. So it's very important. So that's why, from my opinion, of course we know that stress can cause also amenorrhea and some, but we can
Right.
see that and we know how to treat that. But if you have like regular cycle, if you are ovulating, so then telling you that stress causes you infertility, from it's not that right, it's not correct.
Hmm.
But stress can bring you to really to say no, stop, I cannot anymore. So this is very very sad, and that's why maybe this support from the beginning of the process, it's very important.
Hmm. Agreed on that. Perfect. Thank you so much indeed.
Mm.
If you have any questions, go ahead, type those in. And if not, as Maria said, you can join the group and you can share, or you can just read and listen right there as well. So we can only encourage you to do that. If you are looking for some other sources where you can simply join, this is one of the options. And I don't see more questions, so we will be slowly finishing. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here. As you know, we are also gathering here just to support you, just to give you some tips, some information to educate you, but also listen to you and what you need. So thank you so much for joining us. Sometimes over and over again, as I mentioned, we do the webinars frequently, and I do think that at least some of you have had a chance to be with us before. Maria, I think that will be it for today, but thank you so much for introducing this topic, talking about the journey, how it works, and that, of course, there are resources anyone can reach out and can use and feel supported as well. Any final words before we finish?
I wish you all ladies, all couples who is going through this process a very very good luck. Stay strong, and from my opinion, I always telling the couple, if you are continuous, at one point it gonna work.
That
So I
sounds good.
wish you very good luck, and thank you, Caroline, to inviting me. It was really nice to talk to you today.
Thank you so much indeed. As you can see, there are some thank yous coming up your way. And of course, let me remind everyone that if you would like to ask anything, of course, you can reach out to us, or you can also reach out to Maria, Reprofit, sorry, clinic, of course, as well, directly. And you can join the group, and you will be able to ask anything right there as well. So I just want to reassure you that there are places where you can go and find some support as well. So thanks a lot for today. I also want to let you know that we will be back, and actually tomorrow we are starting a new series called New Ask Your Embryologist. So I can only advise you to join us tomorrow. It's going to be a great session with two IVF lab directors from sorry, Ferti Centro and Cleo Clinic. And we'll be happy to have you there. We will talk about embryo quality, how the embryos are selected. So also another important topic. And I'm sure you'll have lots of questions. So go to our myivfanswers.com website. You will be able to find the link and register right there. And I think that will be it for today. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Maria.
Caroline.
Lovely
Thank
to have
you.
you. Looking forward to some more events with you. I think it is also very important to discuss about this part of the process, IVF process, fertility process, and so thank you a lot for bringing this topic to us as well. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening. See you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.